Gunmen attack another armored truck. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. The police so far have detained several suspects in connection with Saturday's attempted robbery of a beryllium armored vehicle in Albion in St. Thomas, and now they're searching for a few more. A beryllium security guard was wounded when armed thugs carrying high-powered rifles attacked the guards who were delivering cash at an ATM at a Western Union outlet Saturday morning. The guard sustained minor wounds after the bulletproof vest he was wearing stopped the bullet from penetrating his body, and one of the getaway vehicles crashed while being pursued in a high-speed chase by the police. A second vehicle was later found abandoned with bloodstain, suggesting that one of the robbers was wounded, and it's believed that the men were traveling in 3 motor vehicles. Meanwhile, the number of Jamaican farm workers who have gone missing in Canada has now increased, and this is according to reports from liaison officers to the fact-finding team, which was formed last year to study agricultural work conditions in Canada under the Seasonal Agricultural Works Program. The team's chair, trade unionist Helen Davis White, claims that providing data showing a rise in the number of people who are walking off the job. Ms. Davis White said that the problem was most prevalent among new recruits who were disappointed with the program, and claimed that those fleeing appeared to be from specific Jamaican constituencies. In the meantime, Ms. Davis White said that there were complaints from seasoned farm workers and farm owners about the poor attitudes and behavior of new recruits. She said the team has recommended that the Labor Ministry facilitate ongoing skills training for prospective farm workers through Hearts Trust and other institutions, as these new recruits have no behavior and did not join the program to work. Meanwhile, 2 suspects considered important actors in the illicit lottery scamming sector were apprehended yesterday morning in Montego Bay, St. James during joint operations. One of the individuals was caught at Montego Bay West Village, while the other was nabbed in Granville. The Major Organized Crime and Anti-Corruption Agency and the Lottery Scamming Task Force proceeded to Montego West Village and arrested the first suspect and a woman. A laptop computer, 4 smartphones, and SIM cards were also taken. The targeted subject was captured in the second operation in Granville. He had 5 cell phones, a laptop, and lead sheets, and those were seized. According to authorities, the accused will be charged soon. Meanwhile, Kevin McCollum, who is alleged to be a reputed member of the Black Man faction of the Klansman gang in St. Catherine, was on Friday freed of gun-related charges in the Home Circuit Court. He was acquitted after a no-case submission was made by his attorney, Donahue Martin. And I want you to listen to his background and all the crimes he's known to have committed, and he still walked free. He was accused of shooting at the police during an incident in 2020 and featured prominently on the St. Catherine North's Police Most Wanted list. He was also wanted for the 2019 murder of Jason Brown on Chins Avenue in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, and was also a person of interest in several other incidents of violent crimes committed in St. Catherine North Police Division. But he was still freed by the judge. How the hell do they expect people to be safe in Jamaica when the judge and lawyers are putting the criminals back on the street? Anyway, not all of them are that lucky. So the criminals are being set free by judges, but the citizens did not allow all of them to do it in this next story. A would-be robber is dead after residents reportedly set upon and beat him to death. Reports are that the man, whose identity is yet to be ascertained, broke into a home in Hart Hill and proceeded to rob the occupants. The occupants raised an alarm, and upon hearing the commotion, residents went to their assistance and encountered the intruder, whom the residents said attacked them. The residents returned the attack, and the would-be robber inflicted several blows. He was restrained while awaiting the arrival of the police. The injured man was handed over to the police, who took him to the hospital. He was pronounced dead at the Anata Bay Hospital. The troubled community of Greenville in Manchester is now tense again following a gun attack on patrons at a bar in an area known as Texas on Sunday morning. And following the shooting, 1 man was discovered dead while 3 others, including a woman, were injured. Sources identified the deceased as Andre Hines, otherwise called Claffy, a resident of Greenville. Residents said that about midnight, Hines was among a group of people gathered at a bar in Texas when gunmen attacked and opened fire, hitting 4 people and sending others running for cover. The 4 injured patrons were rushed to hospital, where Hines was pronounced dead and the others admitted for treatment. And since the shooting, tension and fear have resurfaced among residents of Greenville, a community located just a mile west of Mandeville Town Center. Residents are fearful of the possibility of reprisals, as earlier this month a man was killed at a party on Bethel Street in Greenville. A St. Ann businessman was shot and killed at his home in Clamstead in Limehall in the parish on Saturday. He has been identified as 42-year-old Vincent Latty. The St. Anne's Bay police reported that about 9:50 p.m., Mr. Latty had just returned home with his family and parked his motor vehicle along the roadway. His family went inside while he closed the gate. Shortly after, explosions were heard. The police were alerted, and upon their arrival, Mr. Latty was seen lying in a pool of blood with gunshot wounds to his body. Meanwhile, the police in Hanover are theorizing that a feud may be behind the gunslaying of two men in separate incidents in the parish on Saturday. The deceased men have been identified as Nicky Cunningham, otherwise called Loddy, a 37-year-old laborer of Saxon District in Green Island, and 34-year-old Anakia Pinnock, who was unemployed. In the first incident, Cunningham was a customer at a shop in Prospect District playing a game at one of the machines when explosions were heard about 6:55 a.m. The perpetrators are unknown. The police said that Cunningham is the cousin of Glashane Miller, who was shot and killed in the District of Friendship in the Kingsvale police area on March 21st. And in the second incident, Pinnock was shot and killed inside a barber shop about 1:45 p.m. in the District of Friendship. Reports from the Green Island police are that Pinnock was attacked by a lone gunman who entered the barber shop and opened fire, hitting him. Another man was injured in that incident. Onto sports, Jamaica's high school, as usual, dominate the Penn relays in Pennsylvania over the weekend. Hydel High School won the first ever Penn's relay double on Saturday after they won the high school girls 4x100 meters and the 4x400 Championship of Americans title at the 127th staging of the three-day carnival at Franklin Field in Philadelphia. The Corey Bennett coach team won the 4x100 for the first time and then retained the 4x400 title, winning their fourth title in the last five staging of the event. Homewood Technical also won the high school girls 4x100 meters international final, running 46.81 seconds, with St. Mary High 46.85 seconds and St. Catherine High 47.22 seconds, taking second and third respectively. But there was also drama as Jamaica College used an ineligible runner in the 4x800 team that resulted in them being disqualified. Nicholas Powell, who transferred from Calabar High at the start of the school year in September and enrolled at Jamaica College, was ineligible to compete at the intersecondary school sports, so that makes him ineligible to compete at the Pens as well. But the coach allowed him, and their win was taken and given to the school that came in second. On to NBA, it was entertaining and it was tough, but Miami Heat grind out a Game 1 win over the tough and noisy New York Knicks, winning 108-101. And of course, leading the charge was Jimmy Butler with 25 points. Newcomer Vincent scored 20, while Bam had 20. For the Knicks, Barrett had 26 and Brunson 25, and the next game will be on Tuesday. On to football, Falkland and Veer United played out a 1-1 draw, while Tivoli whipped Montego Bay United 5-2. Humber Lions and Mount Pleasant played out to a tame 1-1 draw as well. Portmore and Waterhouse a 1-1 draw as well. And in the next game, there was a big beating by Dolmehorn, beating Chapelton 7-1. And that's going to be news and sports on your favorite community radio. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.